Hey there, YouTube. Za. Mr. Zero from Mr. Zero's Terror Ride. Um, I think sometimes I need to reiterate that I've been diagnosed as schizotypical. Um, it's considered some look at it as a mild form of schizophrenia. Some of my problems with it that are symptoms that I have that are easily apparent. Is I'm very easily confused at sometimes. I will walk into a room and completely lose myself in why I got in there. Um, and Another one is over elaborate speech, and that's one of my biggest problems. Is I'll keep talking and rambling and moving from point to point, and people can't follow me. So, and I'm already a minute into this, so I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet. I'm really getting tired of hate speech that I'm seeing around when I get on the internet. When you look up anything political or anything in the political realm, you sit there and you're like, the repugnance and the demitards and the libertards and all this. And I'm especially getting tired of it from more the conservative right wing types because it's really ignorant. Um, and stuff I've been reading, comments I've been reading on news stories today, and dealing with various things. They just rub me the wrong way, and I get tired of them. And I'm not saying that I'm not guilty of ever saying anything rude about anyone else, but some people are taking it to extremes. Um, I'm seeing a lot of evidence of like things that are like obviously like just are racially motivated. I saw a video last night from 2010 with Mark Williams on there defending the Tea Party, saying that they're not racist. And then right as he's saying that, he's calling Obama an Indonesian Muslim welfare raper or something like that. Which is just so ignorant. He's sitting there trying to defend his people and saying, well, they're not all racist. And then he says Indonesian Muslim. Now, I understand Muslim isn't a race, it's a religion, but still, same rules apply. It's a generalization. Now, I may not agree with the tenets of Islam, but you don't go around just hating people because they're Muslim. For one thing, Obama isn't Indonesian. He's supposedly Kenyan. But it doesn't matter because he's American. We've seen his birth certificate. Case should be closed. You don't just suddenly wake up and say, I don't care where I'm from, I'm going to run for president. That's the way it's going to be. Anyone logical would know that. Unless there's a bigger conspiracy, and I know which way to point fingers if there's a conspiracy due to the outcome of this debt relief, this debt crisis. The outcome, it's clearly, if there is some sort of conspiracy that went and tried to get a non-American elected, it had to have been from the right wing. It had to have been corporate right wing, because that's what I'm an American and I stand for this country, and I will bow down to corporate America and the right wing and let them have everything they want while saying that I want tax increases. I will do nothing for them. I mean, that's obvious. Calling Obama a socialist to me is ridiculous. It just tells me that people don't understand what the term socialist is. And I'm not defending Obama here. I'm just stating things out there. I am very disappointed in the current administration. I'm very disappointed in the Senate, and the Republicans are trying to say, well, we're only one of the whole majority and 1/3 of the three parts of the legislature here or whatever, but look at what you're controlling. You guys all vote and tie things up the same in both houses. And so we don't know what's going to happen with the super Congress, but I shouldn't be getting into that. I'm trying to talk just about hate speech here. But then it gets even worse when I look on the story about Dolly Parton apologizing for what went down with a lesbian couple that went to Dollywood, and one of them was wearing a "Marriage is Gay" T-shirt, and she was told to wear it inside out. And Dolly apologized and said that she's looking into it, which in my book means that nothing's going to be done, but they're going to say that something is going to be done. But I'm looking into it. We're looking into it. We have a debt crisis. We have this debt ceiling that we just raised, and we've created a committee of 12 people, which is 6 Republicans and 6 Democrats, and we're going to look into it. But we're not going to consider tax increases because we all know the way you pay your bills is by stop spending money. You don't try to increase your revenue. No, you just stop spending it altogether, and that solves the problem. Enough of that. But I'm sitting there looking in the comments there. Well, now we can't go to Dollywood because it's gonna be full of them preverts and them sickos and pedophiles and all of them disgusting deviants. This is the world we live in, folks. I was so shocked while I was sitting there at work years ago, back in like the late 90s, early aughts. I was working as a meat cutter, and I was looking through a magazine on break, and it was like an Esquire magazine. They were complaining about an ad in. I was reading the letters to the editor, and some guy in Washington State was complaining about an ad that had an interracial couple in there. I don't know the way things are done where you work, but over here, that's not allowed. And the words itself aren't offensive. It's the mentality behind that. It's the mentality of someone that calls Obama socialist because they don't understand what the word socialist means. It's the mentality of someone that blames our situation on Mexicans and Muslims because they don't understand who's really controlling things. They don't know who else to blame, so they look at the person that's easiest to push around. I'm getting tired of all this, like that narrow-minded, fearful, xenophobic mentality of "don't come to my country, you ain't from around here, boy." I'd like to see the world evolve, but since like so many, a large percentage of Americans don't even believe in evolution, I don't know how that's ever going to happen. I remember Bill Hicks says, the people that don't believe in evolution look like they have never evolved. That's the situation we're dealing with in this country. And I have a feeling it's going to get a lot worse. And I'm not saying it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. I'm just saying it's going to get a lot worse. But I'm schizotypal. I could just be paranoid. But as Kurt Cobain said in one of his excellent punk rock jams off of the album Nevermind, just because you're paranoid don't mean they're not after you. So you gotta find a better way, better weight in communication.